Imagine a world without names. No bird, no fish, no human, only chaos. That was the world Aristotle sought to organize. For many Greeks, nature was a forest of mystery filled with strange creatures. But for Aristotle, everything had a place, a hierarchy. On the island of Lesbos, he walked along the shore, carrying a small knife and a notebook. He observed fish, octopuses, bees, even the freshly hatched eggs of seagulls. He dissected, recorded, compared, not out of mere curiosity, but to uncover the hidden patterns behind life itself. He created the world's first system of classification. He distinguished living beings not by legend, but by anatomy, lifestyle, and habitat. He wrote about marine creatures with astonishing detail, about fish lungs, how squids change their skin color, and how bees have a queen who leads their colony. In his time, there was no such word as biology, but unknowingly, he invented it. He named, categorized, and arranged the world like a vast library of life. Yet behind all his precision, a haunting question lingered. Are humans also part of this system? Are we merely one species among thousands? Or something different, a creature with consciousness? Aristotle finally wrote, "Man is a rational animal." That simple sentence separated us from all other beings, and at the same time, bound us back into the same chain of life, salt air, ocean wind, and between the waves at a world without names. Aristotle gazed into the sea, his eyes not merely curious, but hungry for meaning. He didn't see fish as food, but as riddles. On Lesbos, he studied marine life more than anyone in the ancient world. He documented the shapes of gills, the structure of fins, even how squids change color to camouflage. Yet within his notes, one mysterious line appeared again and again. All living things move with purpose. For Aristotle, even sea creatures had teleology, an inherent goal, a natural purpose. A fish does not swim without reason. A crab does not scuttle sideways without meaning. Every movement was part of a grand unseen design. He began to see the world as a symphony, each being a note in the harmony of life. But he also wondered, if every creature has purpose, who wrote the score? Thousands of years later, modern biology would discover the same truth. Every organism indeed has a function, a role that sustains the balance of the ecosystem. And unknowingly, they were confirming what Aristotle had written on a seaside scroll 2 millennia ago. One hand held a knife, the other a pen. That was how Aristotle cut through the boundary between body and soul. In a small room filled with the scent of salt and fish blood, Aristotle did what few dared. He dissected life. He examined hearts, lungs, eyes, not for experiments, but to uncover the universal order within nature. Every part of the body was a fragment of logic. Every organ had a reason to exist. He believed nature makes nothing in vain. If an animal possesses something, it must serve a purpose. He classified beings by their internal structures, not just by their outward appearances. From this came the foundation of comparative biology. He had no microscope, no laboratory, and only sharp eyes and an unyielding mind. Yet his boldness came at a price. People called him mad. How can a philosopher touch corpses, they said. But Aristotle persisted, certain that to understand the body was to understand the miracle of existence itself. Centuries later, every modern anatomy, every organ study, every medical textbook stands upon Aristotle's small wooden table. To Aristotle, nature was not dead. Nature was alive. He saw the earth as a vast organism, water, air, fire, and earth, all moving, growing, and interacting as parts of one living whole. He wrote, "All things that live are interdependent," an idea mystical in his age. Now we call it ecology. Aristotle believed life moved in cycles. It grows, decays, and grows again. Animals eat plants, plants draw from soil, soil feeds animals. A perfect chain of harmony. Yet he realized, if that balance breaks, the entire system collapses. For a thinker of his time, that was prophecy. That one day, humanity itself would disrupt nature's balance. And today, as the world faces ecological crisis, we finally understand. Aristotle warned us thousands of years ago. Imagine someone holding the entire world inside his mind. In an age without books or encyclopedias, Aristotle attempted the impossible, to organize all human knowledge. He wrote about logic, physics, animals, stars, and the soul, not at random but systematically. To him, knowledge was not a boundless sea, but a tree with roots and branches intertwined. He divided existence into three: the living, the non-living, and the thinking. And between them he saw hidden patterns, that everything obeys an order. Each species had its place, each creature its function, and every part of the cosmos its role in nature's grand design. Yet behind this order, Aristotle was restless, because he knew organizing knowledge is not the same as understanding the world. He was merely arranging the shadows of something far greater. And now, in the age of data, as humans map everything with algorithms, we are continuing the dream that once lived in the mind of one man, Aristotle. Who says animals cannot think? Aristotle had an answer. Among his hundreds of notes on animals, he found something that shook even his own logic. A bee built its hive with perfect geometry. A seagull returned to the same place each year. An octopus mimicked the color of the rocks around it, not by chance but by choice. He concluded that animals possess a form of reason, a smaller, instinctive version of human intelligence. They do not think in words but in rational instinct. He wrote, "In every living being there is a spark of soul," a line that still echoes through philosophy, but within it lay danger. If animals have souls, then humans are not masters of life, but part of the same family, a thought that threatened the entire order of the ancient world. And today, when scientists speak of animal consciousness, empathy, and interspecies communication, they are walking in Aristotle's footsteps, listening to the whispers of creatures he heard thousands of years ago. From a small island came a map of all life. Lesbos was no center of the world, just a tiny island in the Aegean Sea. Yet there, Aristotle created something that changed how humans understand nature. He wrote Historia Animalium, the first biological encyclopedia in history. It was more than notes. It was a mirror of all life on Earth. He studied over 500 species, recording their behavior, structure, and anatomy. A feat extraordinary for a man without magnifying lenses or laboratories. But his work was nearly lost. For centuries, the manuscripts were hidden, burned, translated, lost again, until Muslim scholars in the Middle East rediscovered and preserved them. From Lesbos to Baghdad, from Baghdad to Europe, Aristotle's knowledge crossed seas, languages, and eras, becoming the foundation of modern science. Once, nature was worshipped. After Aristotle, it was understood. Before Aristotle, humans feared thunder, storms, and earthquakes. Everything was seen as the will of gods. But Aristotle refused to bow to myth. He wrote, "All things happen for a reason." With that, he lit the first spark of science, cause and effect. He believed the world did not move by miracle, but by natural laws. This belief was dangerous. It defied sacred doctrines. Yet Aristotle stood firm. To understand the world is no sin. And from that courage, science was born. Not from a laboratory, but from a man who dared to reject wonder in favor of explanation. Even the brightest light of knowledge cast a shadow. When the world praised Aristotle, not all admired him. Some students accused him of bringing philosophy down to earth. They said he betrayed Plato, that he had dragged heaven into the dirt. But Aristotle did not care. He believed truth was not a shadow of ideas, but something tangible, observable, measurable. He lived between two worlds, the spiritual and the empirical, and refused to choose one over the other. His work was not always welcomed. After his death, his teachings were burned, erased, and misunderstood for centuries. Yet like the roots of a hidden tree, his ideas endured, growing stronger each time the world was ready to rediscover them. Before we named the world, Aristotle had already ordered it for us. From the shores of Lesbos to the lecture halls of Athens, from debates on logic to theories of life, Aristotle did not just observe the world, he designed a way to understand it. Every species he described, every theory he wrote, became the foundation for science, philosophy, and human thought. He did not build an empire. He organized something greater, knowledge itself, and that order still shapes our lives today. Centuries later, when scientists mapped DNA, classified organisms, and built modern biology, Aristotle's name reappeared, not at the altar, but in the roots of every idea. The world has changed, technology has advanced, but the way we think still walks the path built by the old hand from Stagira.